You know, sir, I like you much better with my glasses off.
I guess I was born with the curse of foresight, 'cause I knew Joe was only gonna represent the war side. And that said, I just came to fight. You could keep the ore flight. Save the surprise and the gasp when the shadow of the fascists have cast is on your doorstep in the glow of your porch light. Save the surprise when the grid goes down and we go underground to lick wounds in the gloom of a torchlight. While up in the sky, a blimp glides by with a sign like New Year's 2022. Brought to you jointly by Pfizer and Coors Light. While the centrists observe from a comfortable courtside, right in the thick of the action behind a partition. We're in a morbid position, a plague of evictions, born a comorbid condition of the cancer of wealth. I fantasize that I cancel myself, hands on your head, throw your best laid plans in the well. There are no more answers, questions go back on the shelf. All Joe's donors, a quick show of hands. How many of you sub to the Lockheed Martin OnlyFans? How many are loyalist patrons for the Raytheon Patreon? Occupy Iraq and send 1 million off into the great beyond. Cool yourself with the safety on. True to yourself in as much as you dutifully spew out a mucus of QAnon. You can't convince me the Capitol wasn't surrendered with every intention of digging us deeper down into the treacherous webbing of censorship, ebbing your speech and dissension so you can't hold Biden accountable. Not in his mentions and not in the streets. Know to the end that Joe will defend the elite. Joe won't embarrass McConnell, but Joe's not embarrassed if all of your children are hungry and weak. Too hungry to speak. Too hungry to stand, they just lie at his feet. Joe is fresh out of empathy, fresh out of policy, but he'd love to know, what was your favorite ice cream flavor to eat? Back when you used to eat. I guess the road isn't rocky for people who thought we were free. They'll believe what they read, and Joe's here to lull them to sleep. Counting us down by the dozens, the culling of gullible sheep, led to the slaughter by media tyrants and government thieves. These are the leeches that stubbornly suck where there's nothing to bleed. These are the tumors that force us to crawl on our knees. This is the home of the brave. This is the land of the free. One was foreclosed in 08. One was condemned in 16. This is the home of the brave. This is the land of the free. One was foreclosed in 08. One was condemned in 16. This is the home of the brave. This is the land of the free. One was foreclosed in 08. One was condemned in 16. This is the home of the brave. This is the land of the free. One was foreclosed in 08. One was condemned in 16. This is the home of the brave. This is the land of the free. One was foreclosed in 08. One was condemned in 16. This is the home of the brave. This is the land of the free. One was foreclosed in 08. One was condemned in 16. This is the home of the brave. This is the land of the free. One was foreclosed in 08. One was condemned in 16. This is the home of the brave. This is the land of the free. One was foreclosed in 08. One was condemned in 16. This is the home of the brave. This is the land of the free.
Legend says that Hercules swept Cerberus right off his feet and effortlessly set him down softly as a songbird. Atlas kept the world upon his back and every day wondered whether he could stand it any longer. And Tara Reid came out to say the man they tried to label the messiah of morality was really just another rapist. And I don't intend to hesitate when asked who was the stronger. Tara, like Assange, knew that carrying the truth would be the hardest labor. Tara knew that her assailant wasn't gonna make us any safer. and knew he's just the type of man to hand a decent foreign leader US printed walking papers. And knew he'd be relentless and aggressive in the war he'd wage upon her very character. That his attempts to weaken and degrade and embarrass her would be her only compensation. But I strongly doubt that anyone could ever have foreseen the stream of hate that came from quote-unquote progressives and the self-styled titans of survivor advocation. So if you really think there's something to be gained out of sharing your pain with the world, you are sorely mistaken. The Biden team just dragged their feet addressing Tara's allegations. Until they had a decent list of smears, then they aired them out on every station. And it turns out no one wants to hear the truth of who they praised as being worthy of such bloated liberal celebration. That no one wants to really know the person they've so valiantly defended, even when it meant they had to gloat and shit all over someone braver than they'd be if given the occasion. Now cue the faceless comment squad invasion. Cue those fuckers crawling out the woodwork to come analyze the way you wore your hair and what you wear. Like your appearance waives your rights, or that somehow you're the reason for your situation. Somehow they've decided you should bear responsibility for what such monstrous men insist on doing. Somehow they're deluded by the empty, hypocritical, and useless fucking platitudes that bastard keeps on spewing. And I think it's very telling that the best of their excuses when they try to come and justify our president's abuses is a hearty butt Trump. In which case I'll remind you that you never saw the news attempt to sell us Donald Trump like he was morally upstanding or a decent human. But when Joe says something bigoted or ogles someone's little kid, CNN says, isn't this refreshing? Biden's like a mix of JFK and FDR with all the finer parts of Harry Truman. Christ, I know that they don't think that we're the brightest, but at least pretend we got a couple lumens. Ask yourself if you have ever questioned what they fed you, or do you just shut your eyes and then consume it? And now ask yourself if you ate every one of Biden's lies under guise of harm reduction and the promise of a slight improvement. And now imagine long ago that Biden chose to show you who he really was by traumatizing you for his amusement. Now imagine that you watched him touch a Bible with those filthy hands, and then assume the power of the highest seat in all the land, of knowing your attacker wields a global coalition born of three-letter agencies who'll make a life's mission out of trying to discredit you through lies, damn lies, and collusion. Big tech is never gonna separate from our surveillance state. Fuck's sakes, they're just a breath away from total fusion. So there will come a time where even if you see the light, your voice will never reach the sky through all the bots and all the noise pollution. So trust us when we tell you that the masking of abuses is perhaps this country's oldest institution. And I know nothing nobler than facing it in honor of the truth when you know that the people holding power have been neutralizing truth since there was wet ink on the Constitution. So know that Tara's truth is something crucial to the movement. And if you see yourself a partner to the revolution, help this country see through all the baseless propaganda through the crux of Joe's illusions. And recognize that Tara Reid gave everything she had so she could tell us what the truth is. Recognize the decent thing to do when someone bears their soul and shows their bruises is not to ask for context or offer up your own solutions. Your job is just to listen with an honest mind and put yourself on Tara's side a moment so you understand the path she chooses. That there is no instant fame worth the dragging of your name. And if that's what you think, you've a lot to learn about the kind of facts the mob can handle and the kind that it refuses. You've a lot to learn about the news and all its many uses. Guess you've yet to learn the truth the news will serve as fruit from which they've squeezed out all the juices. And we all eat the husk and just pretend it's full of nutrients and isn't really useless. But the jaws of our ability to yield accountability are absolutely toothless. So don't you kid yourself that any lips are being loosened. They won't ever tell us where the bodies are or show us where the proof is. It's on you to recognize the lechery our president so regularly oozes. It's on you to muster up some honesty and ask yourself how Biden won your trust, but it's America that loses. Open up your eyes and learn to recognize the bruises. Open up your eyes and learn to recognize the bruises.
I came to be a prophet, but I'll settle for pariah. We filled the air with DDT and called the wind Mariah. We cheer on every victory in the war against Goliath, and we watched the model Christian Smalls and pose him with Zendaya. They are gonna milk that union drip until the very last simp takes the very last sip, and when it's all wrung dry and it's not worth shit, then they'll leave it laying right where it is. You can watch them let it all drip into the ditch. Here's the sitch. Biden will invoke the witch of January 6 as a quick fix. He'll tell you that she's here to fill your bellies with some twigs and sticks, rocks, berries, and a capital brick. Concurrently, he's finger-wagging all of the Republicans while sucking their proverbial dicks. He'll fluff them up a couple of concessions in the flick of a bick. He just needs lights and a camera and prompter, and someone to monitor the prompter who knows their shit. 'Cause Joe is gonna open the show with a few short words to be chanted by old white folks wearing old white cloaks who will march in a circle around some progressive political star who is purely a place to spit. But it's all good fun, and there's no harm done when the banks yell cut and they're calling it quits. It's all Flint water gone under the bridge, out of sight, out of mind, and dissolved in the mist. Joe will only need a flick of the wrist, and then the throat of your movement is slit. It'll sputter and gurgle and choke for a bit, bleed out in a viral clip. And as the last of its life force flows to the floor, he'll say, "That's my idea of a union drip." You see, the eyes are a glimpse of the soul, so it says a whole lot if they aren't exposed, and your message is branding you stamped on your clothes, and the media storm is wherever you go. Then you go meet Joe, and you laugh at his quips, and you shake his hand with a nice firm grip, and you cry good trouble through the loafers on your lips. Too true, that's a union drip. Who knew that the victory gift for your unionization's a DNC script? And it's nice and precise like a sniper who's trying to cripple us right where we live. The target they lead is your wallet. They seek to dismember your hands so you can't feed your family or pick up your kids. While they flatter themselves into orgasm, feigning respect for our unions, who wired our grids, who welded our ships, who died for our rights to not witness our children conscripted to 12-hour shifts in the mines from the time that they're 5, when they know damn well that the unions had thrived till they shattered their hips. Till they showed up and handed out Pinkerton slips. Now it's as simple as status and symbol and making the star of the movement so bright that the movement itself is eclipsed. Now our mouths grow dusty and dry on the promise of union drips that might trickle down out of a wealthy fist that is squeezing the heart of the working class hard as it can till it finally ruptures and splits, punctures a valve, and it laughs at the sound of the squish. The way that they laugh at the sight of us making a wage slave wish to a man on the cover of Vanity Fair saying, "Eat the rich." So this is for those who rely on commissions or toil for tips, watching their bosses drink bottles of profits while all you get offered are jugs of their piss. If you seek out the soul of the movement or proof that the movement exists, try looking in the eyes of Chris. And when you find that you can't, the answer is as simple as this. The movement is never one single face, and a drip is a leak to repair or replace. We will not eat the rich to suit expensive taste. We'll consume 'cause survival's at stake.
Good morning, Sunday morning. Good morning, Sunday morning.
We're 40 Sunday mornings out from normal, and the world is not the same. Situated for a warning, but the
write you a check too late. 2 years after your funeral's paid, 2 years after the grave, she'll be a little stronger for all of the dollars she saved. Watching you wake, watching you cling to your family slipping away. Watch her do nothing but pray. Watch her condemn the Republicans, take them to brunch and then shrug it away. Now watch us be outraged half of a day, then pick a new hero to face our leaders and think they could beat them, playing the game they played since Pelosi had real human blood in her veins. They're all one and the same, sold off stocks and they all maintain that the risk was benign and the virus was tame. Flash forward in 40 Sunday mornings fade, 250,000 people in its wake, and the cruise ship sailed today. Some motherfucker don't shine a light on my face. Wait.
Good morning. Sunday morning. Good morning.
Wait.
Sunday morning.
Wait. We're 40 Sunday mornings out from normal, and the world is not the same. Said you waited for a warning, but the warning never came. Don't shine a light in my face. Said you waited for a warning, but the warning never.
No, Indy left. What is happening here?
To check out IndependentLeft.news.
The Indie News Network.
Indie Left News.
Oh, hey, Indie Left.
IndependentLeft.news. Great work.
Indie Left News.
IndependentLeft.news.
Independent Left News.
Shout out to Independent Left News. Shout out. Oh, what's up, Independent Left? Indie Friend show.
Thank you, IndependentLeft.news.
The INN, Indy, you're wonderful.
I think Indy was onto something.
Independent News Network, Indie News. Yeah. What's up, Indy, over on Rockfin?
Independent News Network, also known as INN.
Indie Left News.
I don't know if I would have made it through that 3 weeks without Indy, honestly.
No, I was just going to ask Indy.
A huge thank you and shout out to Indie Left.
No, you know what we're doing? We're world building, Indy.
Indie Left News.
You were doing the INN recruiting.
Indie News.
Independent Left News.
Shout out to Independent Left News.
Check out Independent Left News.
At Indie News.
I see Indy's in the chat. Hi, Indy. Okay, great. Bye.
No, don't say bye. No, bye. Hi, everybody. Yay! It's Sunday night. It's Father's Day. It was a fun Father's Day. I got to eat crawfish and see my dad, so it was a good Father's Day. Tons of yelling, tons of kids being kids, but other than that, it was. I'll just say it was a good Father's Day and be done. I got a card. Everybody go to INN Twitter. You
shouldn't you get like 3 Father's Days?
Oh, dude, that would be nice, but I'll take just the one. Mothers don't get 3 Mother's Days, so fathers, yeah, it'd be nice. 3
if
kids.
They had 3 kids,
one for each kid. That would work. I'll take that. So yeah, I'm just giving everyone a chance to get in. Seems like it's taking a few minutes, but we're here on the Rockfins. We're here on the Telegram. We're here everywhere that we usually are. We'll talk about that in a second, but who's here, chat? Desert Mantis, Cynic. Hi, Cynic. Thank you so much. Yeah, I did get a card from my daughter, and he called me Indy, which is hilarious. So thank you. Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Hope everybody had a great Father's Day. We have only a few stories tonight, but I want to go a little into it, and I just thought that the alien story was going to be a little fun. I'm not crazy into following this. I know there's this guy named, and we'll talk about Bob Lazar too. I don't know much about him, but we know about this other guy that we're going to talk about tonight, David, whatever his name is. So we'll get there. Mastermind, welcome. Bad Cookies. Still good to see everybody. Pasta killing it this week in Convo chat and Convo with Cornell West. Everybody doing really, really good interviews, asking hard questions. And that's what we need to be doing, is holding people accountable, holding their feet to the fire, and asking the tough questions. I've even asked a few tough questions myself of some people, and I'm waiting for some legitimate answers so that I can publish that and let people know what's going on. So yeah, you had a pretty busy week too. And we're the last thing that I want to talk about tonight is the INN Substack, because I don't think that's getting quite enough love, or people know what we're doing over there. But the last couple of weeks we've been publishing kind of like a recap of the week so everybody can get in one email or in one place to see everything that's been happening at the network, besides on, of course, the YouTube channel, but it's just kind of easier to find it all in one location. Anyway, welcome everybody to How Do We Miss That? All right. Damn it. Welcome everybody to How Do We Miss That? How Do We Miss That is a show featuring articles written by independent journalists who expose corruption, cover workers' organizing, and environmental crises while challenging corporate establishment narratives and talking points. New episodes like this one stream live Sunday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern on our YouTube, Rumble, Twitch, Rockfin, Substack, Facebook, Telegram channels. Podcast also version is published within a couple days on Amazon, Apple, Spotify, more. I'm the co-host Indy. I'm founder of Indie Media Today Substack, creator of the Indie Media Awards, co-host of American Tradition with Jesse Jett. Yes, thank you. Jesse Jett on INN. You just heard some of Jesse Jett's music. Producer for Bread and Circuses on INN, which launched this week. Executive producer for Politics of Survival with Tara Reid on INN. And associate producer for The Misty Winston Show on TNT Radio. I do a bunch of other stuff too, but that's just a few of the things. And then I got this guy sitting next to me. He's Reef Breland. He is the INN technical director around here. He is the creator, engineer, and co-host of INN News. He's the producer for The Politics of Survival with Tara Reid on INN, as well as the producer for Bitch with Comrade Misty, also on INN. Both of us are co-founders of Indie News Network. We've heard INN about 9 times. INN, Indie News Network, a collaborative family of independent content creators. You can find all our channels on indienews.network. Please make sure, share this link, like the stream, subscribe to our channel on all the platforms where you watch and listen. We're pretty much everywhere. So yeah, that's pretty much. So we were on Bitch with Comrade Misty last night for a couple of minutes. That was fun. Reef was actually on the whole time, and I popped in for about the last 45 minutes or so and got to rant about a bunch of different things. So if you're interested in hearing what we had to say about that, by all means do so. All right. So slideshow is on. So if I go now to Indie Main, this should work. Yay! Okay. So you guys don't care, but technically I moved everything around and Reef's on a different screen and everything so far is working well. So I'm happy and it's working out. Okay. Next, we're going to go back to the 2-shot and we're going to turn this off and we're going to go here, escape. And then we're going to go to the alien article that we were talking about. So the alien article is by our friend over. Slideshow off. Slideshow on. There we go. Hey now.
Clap on. Clap
off. Okay.
The clapper.
We got it. The clapper. Yes. James. No, not James Clapper. The clapper. Yes. So, this is Unapologetic, Dontell. And he's saying it's okay to smear whistleblowers if it's about UFOs. Now, David Grush is, of course, the famous, now somewhat famous whistleblower for the U.S. government. He's actually gone through channels and he's saying that there is alien activity out there. So Dontell wrote this up in defense of David Grush. And I thought it was pretty interesting to read as a counter because everybody's basically saying this guy's full of shit. He's completely lying. I don't believe anything he's saying. And Dontell's like, wait a minute. Are we sure about that here? So let's read what Dontell has to say. It's okay to smear whistleblowers if it's about UFOs. So many well-documented examples of elements within the national security branch of the U.S. government conspiring to commit horrific crimes. This is always paired with an additional crime spree known as the cover-up. It's all wrapped in a layer of secrecy that we recognize as security clearance, so that the only people who can have access to any of this information are cleared by the ones committing the crimes, right? The only way the public can learn of these obscene acts are when individuals already inside these institutions object strongly enough that they're willing to endure great professional and personal risks to expose wrongdoing. We are entirely dependent on whistleblowers such as Daniel Hale, Chelsea Manning, Edward Snowden, and Daniel Ellsberg to learn what the most secretive parts of our national security apparatus are actually doing. So then we have a little shill for Dontell. Go sign up for Dontell's newsletter. This is on Substack. Unapologetic.substack.com is his site. Until he resigned from his job in April, David Grush was a high-level national security official with the highest level security clearance. And at one point in his career, he was on the team that put together the president's daily national security briefing. This doesn't mean I'll believe anything he says because of his titles or clearance. It does give important context to his proximity to the most classified information, which goes to determining whether David is a credible source. Over the last few years, he's been part of an official task force with the objective of collecting information on UFOs and reporting back to Congress. It was during this time that he claims to have found incontrovertible evidence of an illegal black program run by a faction of the national security apparatus, including private defense contractors, operating outside the oversight of Congress and the president to retrieve working and partial UFOs. This explosive allegation was first published in an article on the debrief in an interview on News Nation. So you did a story on this on INN News, right, Reef? Did you do the aliens? So. Or did I know Greg did the aliens for
Greg did the aliens.
Oh, okay. Over on at that time it was Alternative Angle. Now it is Politically Homeless. A declassified version of the official whistleblower complaint of reprisals filed with the Intelligence Community Inspector General on May 25th of this year by lawyers representing Grush has recently been made public. It states that after providing classified information to the IG in July 2021, proving element of the intelligence community were illegally concealing a UFO program from Congress, several actions had been inexplicably restricted. After investigators reviewed the complaint and interviewed people working in the program, they found the complaint urgent and credible before bringing it to the Director of National Intelligence. Now, this could all be PSYOP, and that's where I'm going to go right there, and he's going to say, David has since briefed members of Congress with the highest clearance for 11 hours, all under threat of prosecution for perjury if he's caught lying. Again, I don't just accept government investigators' conclusions as automatically true, but it adds to the credibility of this story. I know you're not like a huge fan of this bad boy.
Yeah, well, it's most whistleblowers I know don't whistleblow through the correct channels like this guy's trying to do. Right? Like, that seems sketch already. Just you're already going to take a risk. You might as well put it out. You know? Well,
let's see.
They could just say you can't do that, and, you know.
Well, but if you try to go through proper channels, and this is what he's saying, the accusation that the government and corporations have been in possession of alien technology for decades rightfully makes a lot of people stop the conversation and demand extraordinary evidence. I can't say it's true myself until I see proof but what I can say is David Grush appears to be a credible source with a trail of supporting facts backing up his story. Well, that is also questionable.
I mean, it's mainly, not really. Like, yeah, it's people said. Like, he knows people who told him things.
Right. People told me things.
So, yeah.
Unfortunately, I see many otherwise thoughtful people clinging to the momentary absence of publicly available evidence, which has been handed over to investigators, as proof that this story is fake. David has no intention of keeping all this evidence secret. It's just a matter of time until it's released and we can end that debate. I don't know if it will ever be released, personally, or they'll let it out unless it's very convenient to somebody at some point. But where this leaves us is, in the meantime, with a credible source, and if even half of his story is true, that would change the world as we know it. And that's what, like, that made me step back, and I was like, that kind of is, wow, that's true. If it was proven that we had access to alien life and technology, that would change the world as we know it. And at the very least, this merits some level of intellectual curiosity from the public. So that's why we're reading this right there, is basically because of this line. So good on you, Dontell. Healthy skepticism is required when following news stories. No one wants to be the gullible person who fell for a hoax. The opposite, a person unwilling to challenge their beliefs when presented with new information, isn't an ideal position to be in either, yet that's where a lot of typically critical thinkers have landed since this story came out. The mix of shallow, incomplete analysis and mental gymnastics being used to explain this story away is breathtaking. So, real whistleblowers face retaliation from the government for exposing secrets. So, he says, when I see this, I know immediately that the person hasn't read the full article, watched the interview that clearly states that investigators found the whole complaint, including the part about retribution, urgent and credible, nor did they read the unclassified complaint of reprisals. It's also worth mentioning that in the article, it explicitly states that Grush won't publicly go into details about all the retaliation he faced because there's still an ongoing investigation, but journalist Ross Coulthart, who spoke to the whistleblower for 7+ hours, mentioned on his own podcast, Need to Know, that government agents allegedly broke into David's home at some point. The extent of the retaliation won't be known until David speaks about it publicly. So, again, we're not really going with all of the knowledge or evidence here, for sure. So he says this question of retaliation, and we know somebody who's been retaliated against personally by the U.S. government. So is this stuff possible for somebody who's trying to whistleblow and expose secrets and wrongdoing in the U.S. government? I can't rule it out.
Yes. It could also be orchestrated.
It could be.
So, you know.
It could be. This question of retaliation.
Exaggerated.
Yeah. So the question of retaliation gets to a valid sentiment based on years of evidence that all major whistleblowers, especially in the military-industrial complex and especially in the military-industrial complex, end up in jail when their identity is revealed. All those legendary whistleblowers I mentioned earlier were prosecuted by the government for exposing crimes. I don't know. I don't remember if Ellsberg actually was. I remember all the President's Men and all that stuff, but he published them. Rest in power, Daniel Ellsberg, by the way. So time will tell if Grush will ultimately be prosecuted. As for now, an important distinction between David's case and whistleblowers like Snowden is that he filed his complaint through official channels, including Congress and the Inspector General, while seeking protections from prosecution. That isn't condemnation of whistleblowers who choose to go directly to the public with their information. Personally, he'll always be on the side of the more public transparency, which I, of course, am too. But the reality is, whenever this route is taken, it triggers prosecution because our justice system incorrectly views insiders exposing crime as someone exposing legitimate state secrets. They don't have the authority to declassify any information, so under this theory, both are prosecutable. I don't even know how much I agree with that, but okay, I guess that makes sense. But all whistleblowers accept that there's some risk to their safety. It's still human nature to take the path of least resistance. If Rush and his lawyers found that the best way to get this evidence to the public while avoiding prosecution was to file an official complaint, so be it. Shouldn't it be considered a win for transparency advocates that a whistleblower is able to challenge power without losing their freedom?
I mean, doesn't that scream a red flag to you if that's happening?
Well, if all the other ones that do lose their freedom, yes, but they did not
lose their freedom, right?
But they didn't go through official channels beforehand, so it's a lot harder to take their freedom because they did not break the rules. They didn't follow the official channels the same way. There were no official channels with Julian Assange, for example, and Chelsea Manning. I mean, I guess if Chelsea Manning had discovered the Iraq war logs, she could have run it up the chain and said, we committed a war crime, but what would they have done? They'd have swept it under the rug. Chelsea Manning and Julian Assange are heroes for exposing that crime. Anyway, so that's one of the also interesting questions. Isn't it considered a win for transparency advocates, or shouldn't it be, that a whistleblower is able to challenge power without losing their freedom? And like Reese said, it leads me to actually question whether the whistleblower is doing it with the sanction of the people that he's blowing, the company. And if he's blowing the whistle on somebody, it's to scapegoat somebody or to get somebody, one specific body in trouble, but maybe it absolves the organization of responsibility or liability. Is that what's happening here? I don't see how it does here. To imply that this damages credibility, his credibility as a whistleblower, is an admission that you only trust government sources in prison. Also a very interesting topic. Is that what you're saying?
What, that I only trust government sources in prison? No.
Well, if you're saying that he may not be credible because he's doing it under sanction, through channels, and he's not currently being persecuted, prosecuted,
right, but
or
he's
locked
not,
up.
He's also not being persecuted like that. Doesn't have to be in prison.
Right. So he says apparently prison time and torture is a prerequisite for having any credibility as someone who comes forward about criminality in the government. Interesting take.
No, the fact that the government isn't coming after him the same way they would any other whistleblower is apparent.
I love how Dontell makes me think, no matter what. Like, he definitely provokes thought, and that's one of the reasons why I really like this piece. He also, this is the government psyop to give more money to the military-industrial complex. He wants to debunk that talking point. This one is my favorite. Ironically, while trying to debunk David Grush, some are resorting to baseless theories with even less supporting evidence than the original story. I know for a fact that the government regularly runs psychological operations and disinformation campaigns on the public. However, this would be the first time in history where the government's plan to manipulate the public involves a high-level official fabricating an elaborate conspiracy theory implicating factions in the nation's security state of felonies that will inevitably invite investigations and public scrutiny onto themselves.
I disagree.
That's some real galaxy brain mental gymnastics. Yes. I again, another reason why we are bringing this up.
I mean, like every war you could put that sentence on, and every time they tried to get more military,
what about like WMDs?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that qualify for the same? Wouldn't that qualify in the same level of criminality that we've seen in this century alone? Afghanistan? How many lies have they told about Afghanistan from the nation's security state, from a high-level official? What about the story about I'm thinking about the steroids that they're all taking, they're all hopped up on steroids and committing rape because of it. But he's saying that to think about that is some real galaxy brain mental gymnastics. I don't know. Furthermore, the military and industrial complex gets a blank check for endless war every year already. Was his point. So the fact that they're using this to get more money. Well, the president regularly gets billions more for the Pentagon than he even asks for. Right now, we're fully prosecuting a war against a nuclear power and their allies in what's effectively a third world war. There's no dissent in Congress on the limitless spending on defense contractors in Ukraine. They can get whatever they want for the manufactured wars going on already. As far as funding for the new Space Force, Congress was already giving billions of dollars to the program anyway with no pushback. To go to these lengths to get a couple of $1 billion doesn't seem credible to me. The juice just isn't worth the squeeze.
They haven't militarized it quite yet. They've only made it like this could force them to start looking at militarizing space and allowing that. Like giving the okay to do that.
Yeah. Well, again, Dontell's position to call this entire story a government psyop does nothing but undermine the credibility of a whistleblower who the record shows is facing retaliation for telling his story. You'd have to be claiming that he's a devious liar with nefarious intentions, or he's too dumb to realize that all the findings of his investigation, including hours of interviews with high-level officials who claim to be currently working in this program and the classified documents they provided him were all made up. It's very well possible that that's the case. Yeah. No one can provide a shred of evidence to back up this assertion. Well, no, but...
And same for the other side.
Right,
like, we
you can't provide a shred of evidence on the other side, other than that he says that he has all the stuff and that he's turned it over to Congress. That
he said he has hours and hours, right.
And that Congress supposedly has it, allegedly. But will we ever see it? I don't know. So here, it's all one big government distraction. So we just all lived through a pandemic caused by a government lab. But the safe and effective, and it could have been natural from nobody knows, right? Mm-hmm. Right, YouTube? Right. That's just for YouTube's sake. Nobody knows. All right, so entire country shut down. The rich ran out the back door with all the money, and the government forced people to take experimental drugs from their corporate donors under fraudulent pretenses. Safe and effective. Safe and effective. My heart swells with pride at how safe and effective the vaccine is. None of that is the topic of discussion anymore. We're rapidly escalating a war with a nuclear-armed country that can very likely trigger nuclear annihilation. I host a news show, and I can't get enough people to give a shit about such an existential issue. The idea that a government needed to concoct a criminal conspiracy against themselves to distract us from important issues also isn't believable to him. I think that's what they do all the time, so I disagree there too. But again, love you, Dontell. As someone who regularly covers the war machine, the idea that there are factions of the security state operating outside the law and without the oversight of the president or Congress to advance their own agenda has been proven a long time ago. Well, yes. If someone at the highest levels of government is not only acknowledging this fact, but coming forward with evidence of financial crimes to fund this program, locations of secret bases, on-the-record testimony from people who worked within this program, and the names of decision makers, that we should be demanding this evidence be made public. Instead, I'm seeing people who normally praise whistleblowers reflexively smearing and attempting to discredit one. Okay. The more I look into this story, the less likely it seems that David Grush could be fabricating all the findings of his investigation. I'd love to know what else he's seen in this story. I'm uncomfortable with the lack of intellectual curiosity to get to the bottom of these claims. The roadmap is already there. I think Jamal Thomas probably would also agree with you, and he probably has talked to Bob Lazar multiple times. I know he has done multiple shows on the Progressive Soapbox about it, and he's been fascinated about the alien stuff for a long time, and he's been following this stuff and deep into it. So if you ever want to know about that, you can definitely follow him over there. It's not that the evidence doesn't exist. It's been given to investigators over a year ago. The public should,
which is also why... Pause. It's also why is it coming out now? Why have they let this stuff out of the bag now? You know, it's been there for a year. Been there for more than that. I mean, we've been hearing talks of Navy planes finding UFOs, UAPs, whatever they're called.
Then there was
now, whatever they changed them to.
The people in Vegas who saw the thing in their backyard but didn't have a cell phone camera to be able to shoot it.
Right.
I think they're trying. I think there is some kind of a concerted effort to start.
Yeah, or they're trying to cover up military technology that, you know, like, which is what they've always done with the alien stuff.
What are you saying?
When people started seeing that stealth bomber, they brought up alien stuff again. Like, when did this show come out? Like, when was that?
Oh, in the early 90s.
Like, around that time?
In the early 90s.
Like...
That was the X-Files. That was the X-Files for the kids that don't know. But he's saying that the public should demand to see this information so we can judge for ourselves. Instead, it appears to be more trended to baselessly smear a whistleblower. Well, I definitely do want to see the evidence. I don't think that they're ever going to make it public. But I certainly would love to see it. So, Dontell... That's unapologetic.substack.com. Check him out. He's a good dude. And he's been doing this a while. I'm glad to see him back. He's starting to do videos again. And we like his stuff. So that's Dontell. And let's go back to our split screen. Yay. Okay. When Gillian Anderson was still hot, Mastermind Hour. That's really a great comment right there.
Yep.
So, what's going on? I think my Twidget that may be broken because I'm not seeing that yet.
Frozen for a second.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta like just restart it and put the thing back in.
Yeah. So I gotta go to this and do a little bit of this so I can put a chat back up and that I like. Ba-boop, ba-boop, shaboop.
Isn't Jillian with a G, not a J?
I don't know, but
I think
lots of flag words. That was a while ago, right? Yeah. That I just have to stop it and restart it here. Get it back. All right, everyone. So how you?
I saw Rogan talk about it, and he was already like, nope.
Well,
this guy's probably bullshitting.
We watched that clip from when was that? I don't even know. Hey, Charlie Mac, thank you, sir.
Not that long ago.
Much appreciate you. Love everybody here. All right. So I took the wrong one. Hold on. Andy's having a day. It was a good Father's Day. I got to eat 4 pounds of boiled spicy crawfish at a local restaurant. So I'm happy my belly is full. Did Dontell buy a new computer? That's a good question. I don't know. We'll have to find out, but you can ask him. Go to unapologetic.substack.com and you can ask him and leave a comment on this article. And that would be really nice if you did. That'd be real cool, actually. So I'll put the link in the article in the description after the show's over and in the Substack article. By the way, you can go to indiemedia.today. There is an article for every episode of How Do We Miss That, of all the clips. You know, there's an article for each clip with it embedded. You can watch it there. You can link to it on YouTube or on Rumble where it's available. We try to make it available to everyone. So, yep. Crawl boys and mud bugs, and my dad came, and we had a good family day. The kids were there, and my daughter even ate a couple of spicy crawfish, and she made a beautiful little card, and I'll show you guys that later if you haven't seen it. Most of you guys have already. So I think we are ready. Are you ready? Yes, we watch way too much UFC. Slideshow on, and now we're gonna go to this bad boy. Yeah, so Ukraine. We got a couple of stories from overseas about what's going on with UK and narrative managing in Ukraine, and I thought it also quite important to talk about this. Let's go back here, and we'll go to first Consortium News, who is, of course, an Indie Media Award honoree. Yes. This is an article who's in Canberra, that's Australia. Tony Kevin, who I'm not familiar with, but I thought, again, this was an important piece because this is somebody, an editor at Radio New Zealand has been suspended and is under investigation for the time-honored practices of providing balanced and factual reporting. Suspended for providing balanced news on Ukraine. And this happened 5 days ago. And they're a day ahead of us, so it's actually kind of 6 days ago. But Tony says that on Friday, the Guardian Australia website carried a news report with a follow-up piece on Monday whose implications for free speech are profoundly disturbing. They concern a Radio New Zealand or RNZ broadcasting employee, unnamed, but everyone in the small New Zealand broadcasting world will soon know who it is, who has been placed on leave while their professional conduct is investigated. Jesus Christ. Yes. Persecuted and prosecuted for journalism. Here we go again. Obviously, a career hangs in the balance. So the malign ghosts of Orwell's 1984 stalk this story. So yuck. This is really, really scary. So Russian garbage, of course, the unnamed person in RNZ committed the cardinal sin of inappropriate editing of incoming Reuters news feeds on the war in Ukraine to insert Russian garbage, quote unquote, in the contemptuous words of Paul Thompson, chief executive of RNZ. That is to say, they drew on Russian news sources to insert balancing pro-Russian material to the incoming Western news agency feeds. Oh, that's a big no-no.
Who's a madman?
Oh, Jamal, come on. Come on. That's not
Who's
cool.
a madman?
Yeah, I know. I know what you think, but you don't even know what the Donbass is. Come on. The Guardian tells us that, in fact, accurate information about Ukraine was added to the Reuters copy. The articles in question made a range of amendments, adding the word coup to describe the Maidan Revolution, changing a description of Ukraine's former pro-Russian president to read pro-Russian elected government, adding references to a pro-Western government that had suppressed ethnic Russians, and on several occasions added references to Russian concerns about neo-Nazi elements in Ukraine. I did not see that happening. Not see at all. Do not see the Nazis. We did not see the Nazis. Come on. No, except for Joe did 4 videos about it. And more truth was added. Yes, and more truth was added to the story, the Guardian says. So, quote, in one article, a paragraph was added reading, the Kremlin also said its invasion was sparked by a failure to implement the Minsk Agreement peace accords, which, of course, Aaron Mate's reported on, and many people many times, Mearsheimer, anyone that's been objectively reporting on Russia-Ukraine, designed to give Russia speakers autonomy and protection, and the rise of neo-Nazi element in Ukraine since a coup ousted a Russian-friendly Ukrainian government in 2014. That's a quote, right?
Mm-hmm.
Another added that Russia launched its investigation, claiming that a U.S.-backed coup in 2014 with the help of neo-Nazis had created a threat to its borders and ignited a civil war that saw Russian-speaking minorities persecuted. Also 100% true. It's Luhansk, it's Donetsk, it's the Donbass region. It's even since the annexation of Crimea in 2014 and the Minsk Accords. This, it seems, is an offense not to be countenanced any longer in New Zealand. An RNZ spokesperson, John Barr, said in a statement after the first article came to public attention that RNZ is taking the issue extremely seriously and is investigating how the situation arose, the newspaper wrote. Guardian, also not a tremendously wonderful or credible source. They're also in bed with the Gates Foundation and funded by also, I believe, the Saudi royal family. I know the UK Independent is. In its effort to correct the story, says, Ukraine says these claims are discredited Kremlin propaganda. The anti-corruption movement was peaceful and had widespread support. Yanukovych fled to Russia months later after his security forces shot dead more than 100 armed protesters. Unquote.
Yanukovych is that tennis player?
He was the no. Yanukovych. No, that's Novak Djokovic.
I was thinking of that the lady one.
Now, the RNZ executive Thompson was gutted to learn what had been going on under his watch. We read that 250 past published articles have been gone through with a fine-tooth comb to investigate.
And we ain't found shit.
Oh, no, they found a lot. To investigate and counter such offensive, inserted material, and thousands more are being reviewed. Narrative management to the hilt. Going back and changing history. 16 such offending articles have been found and warning commentaries added to them. Investigations continue while the staffer remains indefinitely suspended. The responsible minister is being briefed. Clearly, these editors have not delved deeply into the Ukraine story. And of course, you've got douchey Luke Harding from The Guardian. Both Guardian articles carry a tagline that says, additional reporting by Luke Harding. Do we know who Luke Harding is? Well, let's find out. This should be a key warning to everyone in New Zealand and Australia's broadcasting world, indeed in the entire English-speaking world. Harding carries a formidable reputation as an inveterate anti-Russian British journalist with alleged strong links to the UK anti-Russian disinformation system and even to MI6, which of course is the UK Secret Intelligence Service. He was heavily involved in the Julian Assange affair and in the now discredited campaign to label former U.S. President Donald Trump as an asset under Russian control. He is a known
Russiagate assholes.
He is known as a leading Western disinformation warrior. So that's a little background on Luke Harding, and he's now involved with this bullshit too. So, Australian Broadcasting Company, or ABC journalists, edit incoming feeds from Reuters and other wire services all the time. They add context, link to previous stories, add Australian relevant material. The problem is this person in RNZ was adding such context from the wrong side. Propaganda. I mean, this is blatant propaganda. Like, they don't care. Use our propaganda. Don't use their narrative whatsoever. Don't allow any of that information to come through because that might counter our propaganda. The ABC has long been exposed as an obedient servant of the U.S.-dominated Five Eyes intelligence network and runs along approved anti-Russian and anti-Chinese editorial lines. RNZ, by contrast, is still widely respected in New Zealand, but it committed the sin of allowing counter perspectives to be heard on the responsibility for the present tragic war in Ukraine. So this is the Five Eyes network. You've got US, Canada, UK, Australia, and New Zealand.
And where's the sixth eye?
All over the world in space.
Beep, beep, beep.
Watching us all. Read the two Guardian articles to see exactly what Harding in London and his colleagues in UK disinformation appear to be objecting to. It sends a strong message across the Tasman Sea from New Zealand to the Australian media world. We watch every word you say and every word you write. So he's being canceled. Somebody is being canceled for the same thought crimes. The examples of journalistic misconduct identified in the two articles match exactly research and opinions on the historical context and causes of the war in Ukraine and mounting Russia-West tensions that I've been trying to express publicly in Australia as an expert former senior diplomat since the publication of my book, Return to Moscow, in 2017. And as a result, I've been canceled, unpersoned, silenced, dropped down the ABC memory hole.
Unpersoned.
Yep. Never to be allowed on its airwaves again. An innocuous interview I conducted from Moscow with Paul Barclay for the respected ABC program Big Ideas in February 2022 was disarchived. Yes, you read that right. A few weeks later, under pressure from unidentified critics. That sounds like the U.S. military or someone involved with some kind of defense contractor or defense lobbying agency. Ukraine is losing. I'm going to highlight that. Ukraine is losing, folks. The war in Ukraine now winds steadily towards its inevitable pro-Russian denouement. Russia clearly has the military edge, and this will not change now. Billions of dollars worth of supplied U.S. NATO equipment continues to be destroyed in combat. In suicidal offensives ordered by the doomed Zelensky regime in Kiev, not Kyiv, but Kiev, an estimated 500,000 Ukrainian soldiers have been crippled or killed since February 2022. Of course, exact casualty figures are very hard to come by. Many more proxy warriors will die in the coming weeks as this brutal war of attrition demanded by the U.S. and NATO continues to destroy what is left of poor Ukraine. And solidarity to the citizens and people of Ukraine that don't want this to happen, that want a peace, that want to make some kind of a deal, that don't want to continue this silliness because we know inevitably what is going to happen. Australians and New Zealanders with naive faith in the professional integrity of their national broadcasters will continue to be insulated from these tragic truths. as are American with that same naive faith. I mean, I love them to death. I got a buddy who still believes that Dan Rather is still right along with those national broadcasters. So, fortunately for those who dare to read them, there are now plenty of accessible, reliable sources of alternative perspectives on Russia-West relations and the pivotal importance of the war in Ukraine in transforming the world. This world now looks very different from outside the Western lager. We are in the midst of huge global changes. It is now a multipolar world, as many people have been referencing and pointing to and predicting and saying were inevitable. But, of course, thanks to the likes of propagandists, I will add the word propagandists, like Harding and his Anglo-American friends, we won't find such information anywhere on the ABC or RNZ. We antipodians in the colonies will be the last to know. And so who is Tony Kevin? He's a former Australian senior diplomat, having served as an ambassador to Cambodia and to Poland, as well as being posted to Australia's embassy in Moscow. He's the author of 6 published books on public policy and international relations. And this is exclusive to Consortium News, which, again, give them a follow, give them a subscribe, consortiumnews.com. They're heavily suppressed. They do excellent work. Kathy Vogan, Joe Loria, John Pilger publishes there. Patrick, not Lancaster, the other Patrick. I'm losing. I don't have it's slipping my mind. This is what happens when you get old, folks. So that's our first Ukraine story. The other one I'm going to go to now, was also from another Indie Media Award honoree, and it's kind of hard to see here, but Declassified UK, also really good independent site. Matt Kennard, I believe, runs Declassified UK. This is an article from Richard Norton-Taylor. That was Richard Norton-Taylor. Could it sound any more British than that? But UK military figures warn ministers about Ukraine. This is from June 5th, and about 2 weeks ago, but it's kind of funny because we could have predicted this. But British ministers are fanning the flames of conflict in Ukraine, ratcheting up their aggressive rhetoric aimed at Putin's Kremlin. But senior figures with personal experience of combat are responding more thoughtfully, as they often have, over UK military interventions. You know why? Because they're the ones that actually have to make the phone calls to the parents. So, shout out to Big Mad Crab for the thumbnail that has this picture. It's just these two guys kind of propped out and placed on the thumbnail with a Ukraine flag behind them. And that is a pretty badass picture, I have to say. Of course, from number 10 Downing Street. So this is government propaganda right here, by the way.
Yep.
So thanks for putting government propaganda on my thumbnail, Crip. I'm kidding.
Well, LA 5. I forget those rifles. The British shit.
That is a pretty substantial piece right there.
British. It's British.
So this is not a terribly long article. Patrick Swayze. No, not Patrick Swayze, Desert Mantis. Not Patrick Swayze. Not that guy. But
I mean, it could be. Have you seen Ghost? You don't know how it ends.
He's a he was a handsome St. Patrick. Oh, St. Patrick. Haha. So shortly before his retirement this month, Air Chief Marshal Mike Wigston, who's the head of the RAF, warned that defeat in Ukraine would leave Russia brutal and vindictive, even if Putin disappeared. Which, of course, he's not going to, but Russia may pose an even greater threat to NATO countries, including Britain, he said.
Because Putin's a madman.
Yeah, we know. We know about this opinion here. Oh. But when the Ukraine conflict is over, and Ukraine has restored its borders, as it must, we will have a damaged, vindictive, and brutal Russia, whose means of harming us is through air attack, missile attack, and subsurface attack. And Wigston added, This is more than just about one person. There's a whole structure and a hierarchy behind Putin. So even if Putin was to disappear off the stage, there are countless others that could replace him, that could be as equally as brutal and vicious to their own people and to neighboring states.
Man, you know what that sounds like?
No, nobody.
It sounds like every fucking leader we've got. You could you could say that about Biden. You could say that about fucking Trudeau. You could say that about that there's someone equally as vicious and awful and terrible to replace them if they're taken out.
Yep. His warning came as Rishi Sunak and Foreign Secretary James Cleverly.
Rishi.
Rishi Rich. Yes. Enthusiastically praised the Ukrainian drone attacks on Moscow. Gross. Even egging on Kiev to launch further strikes on Russia. Yeah, go ahead. Ugh. Prompt us into World War III, you fucking clowns. Cleverly says Ukraine has the right to project force beyond its borders to undermine Russia's ability to project force into Ukraine itself. In response, the deputy chair of Russia's Security Council, Dmitry Medvedev, said British public officials were a legitimate military target. Yikes. Tobias Elwood, a senior Tory MP and chair of the Commons Defence Committee, went as far as telling BBC Two Newsnight viewers on May 30th that the West must rekindle Cold War skills. Ugh. Such rhetoric swirling around Westminster was in marked contrast to the response to the drone strikes on Moscow in Washington, where the Biden administration insisted the U.S. did not approve of Ukrainian attacks on targets in Russia. Wakeston is not the first former military figure to counsel caution in effort to telling their erstwhile political masters to cease indulging in dangerously provocative interventions and empty threats. Except the threats aren't empty. Right? The alternative is a bloody battle. And others have gone further. So former Chief of Defense Staff Lord David Richards has warned that Crimea should be treated differently from the rest of Ukraine, with a peace deal possibly involving a referendum, and suggested that others in the West share that view. Guess what, dude? You're going to have to include Lugansk and Donetsk as well, because they've already drawn the red line there. They've already got that territory. There could also be some arrangement over Crimea, whether it's allowed to remain in Russian hands. He said the alternative is a bloody battle. Now, I don't know. Is it part of Russia now? I thought that it was its own independent country, and that's how it's being treated, as like a satellite Russian country.
Didn't Crimea vote to be Russian ruled? Was
it part of Russia, or was that to be?
Don't know.
I don't know. I know it was annexed, but Richards has reinforced the point that we have to understand that Ukraine is very, very important to Russia emotionally, historically. It was part of Russia for hundreds of years. No, it wasn't. It was part of the Soviet Union for hundreds of years, which is why they're never going to allow Crimea to be part of this new Ukraine. Okay. Richards is fond of quoting former President U.S. Teddy Roosevelt's advice: speak softly and carry a big stick, you'll go far. What big stick is that?
Didn't get him very far.
What big stick? Is it sanctions? Because they aren't working. Is it weaponry? No. That isn't working. Is it depleted uranium? That's only going to destroy a generation of Ukrainian kids. So,
yep.
They also ignore this observation shared among the vast majority of senior British military figures, namely, all wars end through diplomatic means. Of course. Richards is not alone in highlighting Crimea. Retired Admiral Chris Parry recently warned that Ukraine will do well to leave Crimea alone for now. It is absolute kryptonite to the Russians, and they will die in numerous ditches to hold on to it, even if they lose everything else. Guys, you're not taking, okay, 8 years that Crimea has already been affiliated and not part of Ukraine. 8 years. Actually, 9 years. So, ironic, but it may seem but senior military figures have consistently warned of the consequences of military intervention. So Admiral Sir Mike Boyce, so he's been knighted, then Chief of Defense Staff, was deeply concerned about Britain joining the U.S.-led attacks on Afghanistan in 2002 and the invasion of Iraq the following year. He was deeply skeptical of Tony Blair's last-minute unequivocal assurance to him that the invasion was lawful. In private, Boyce suggested that the subsequent failure of the occupying powers to protect the civilian population in Iraq was in breach of Britain's Geneva Convention obligations. Well, yeah. Yes, we all know that what a disaster for countless people of war is going to be. Yes. So we allowed that. So they allowed that to happen. Yes. So all these different people, former Labor Foreign Secretary, said that this was one of the deepest regrets from his time. And they're just allowing this again. It also refers to the bombing of Libya, toppling of Gaddafi as a shit show. They just keep going along with the U.S. Military chiefs have not been alone in warning about the dangers of military intervention. Eliza Manningham Buller, who's then head of MI5, warned that the invasion of Iraq would increase the threat of Islamist terror attacks in Britain. And she was correct. The trouble was and remains that senior military and intelligence figures do not easily speak truth to power to their political masters for fear of a political and media backlash if their concerns become publicly known. So, a bunch more people saying a bunch of things here. But will it learn brutal lessons before indulging in similarly dangerous rhetoric, helping to promote an escalating dispute between China and Taiwan? They are questions that need an answer now. How much longer is the British government prepared to arm Ukraine while cheering from the sidelines as tens of thousands of young soldiers and civilians and children continue to get killed? The answer is indefinitely. We know this.
Yep.
So sign up for Declassified UK. Go to Outlet. They report on military intelligence. They break stuff. We don't find out what's really happening within our government without organizations like this. And that's why the Indie Media Awards exist. And that's why we're glad to have given them one. Thank you. All right. How are we doing? Oh, almost 11 o'clock. Okay, so we're not that bad on time. And I want to get to our final story. Let's check out chat. 27 people checking out here. Hi, Karen Smetonskovska. Sorry, I just butchered your last name. That's awesome. That's awful.
Karen
Zinnick, how are you?
I can't read it when it scrolls.
Anna Ringwald.
Smetanovska?
Smetanovska. Mastermind, yep. Cookies, Gamer for Life, welcome. Good to see you tonight, as always. Had to cut out of here to get to my INN pan. Oh, yeah, well, that's what you have to do. You do what you got to do. Thank you. Appreciate everyone. Love you, Cynic. Consortium news. Let's do our little slideshow stuff because I did miss that. There we go. Hey, so that's that. And then we have one for Declassified also. Declassifieduk.org is their website. So definitely go give them a shout. Here's our last story. East Palestine. Keep the pressure on. And we saw a couple of new developments and new reports and updates that came out of East Palestine this week.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
Yeah. So it starts out, Andrew Welton and the Welton Group. He is a professor at Purdue University. He has been amazing. And the folks at United for East Palestine, the mutual aid support group that started on Facebook, have been praising him and telling us about the work that he's been doing, and I've been following him ever since. Did the 7-hour drive from Purdue, from Indiana to East Palestine, and put in 7 hours of field work in day one. This is a thread reader thread so that it cuts out a lot of the noise on Twitter. But each one of these is a tweet in a thread. So first, Sulphur Run, where the chemicals first entered waterways from the Norfolk Southern disaster is practically free of water in some places. Some places are flowing, others seemingly with stagnant pools. And sheen still exudes from the Sulphur Run banks in places where we visited. We did see free-floating sheen, not from us disturbing, after the confluence of Sulphur Run and Leslie Run. And there's a little video here. Hopefully you can hear that.
I don't, but that's okay.
Shoot. Well, it's just birds chirping, but I want to make sure you can hear sound anyway. But we saw water boatman insects moving through the sheen in some places, and maybe some spider-looking bugs too, but we did see some bugs in Sulphur Run where the water was flowing. And again, you can see the sheen here.
Yep.
Right.
Gotta go back.
There. And there's like one of the bugs floating. Sorbent booms sat on the basically dry Sulphur Run creek bed. It looks like the hay bale left in Sulphur Run culvert we've seen before is now gone. A lot of greenery has now grown along Sulphur Run, which is nice to see. Because if the area were poisoned and toxic, you wouldn't be able to see any green growing, I believe, whatsoever. Correct, Reef?
Plants can grow out of concrete, bro.
But does that mean that it's...
They can grow in some pretty adverse conditions.
They celebrated Catterday.
Nice. The
Hopefully people heard the truck noise, and that's good. The
Yep.
sign shares heartfelt messages to first responders who helped the community. In East Palestine Park, a lot of greenery has come in. It's also nice to see. I think they also might have planted some new stuff.
Yep.
The water levels with less than 21 days of barely any, with around 21 days of barely any rain, have prompted lower flows in Leslie Run, which is on the left, and Sulphur Run, which is on the right. This is Leslie Run. And then this is Sulphur Run. Okay. So we're following what's going on here. Then near that location, we see air testing canisters just hanging out on a telephone pole. That's kind of interesting. We did see, as mentioned before, freely floating sheen in Leslie Run in East Palestine Park. Nothing like the amount we've seen previously. So it's moving. Where it's going, who knows? But along Leslie Run, south of East Palestine, we saw a lot of fish, frog, and insects. So that's good. So wildlife seems to be coming back to the area. Good to know. And we did see sheen when creek banks were physically disturbed in Leslie Run. Norfolk Southern plans to start cleaning Leslie Run next week. I wonder what that will do to the living things there. This should have been done already, IMO.
Yep.
Jesus.
More sheen.
More sheen. There's more. Tomorrow's another day. So here's day 2. Rendezvous with research teams, faculty and students from UT, University of Tennessee, and Inter Puerto Rico, and community resident to provide drinking water or to sample private drinking water wells held from Tennessee and Puerto Rico. Amazing.
Mm.
So here's them taking sediment samples. He didn't fall in, thankfully. Epico pressure washing East Taggart right on the derailment site and Sulphur Run. So we've got...
I'm sure that's going to be great for the water table.
Are they trying to get like chemicals off the street? Is that what's happening? Pressure washing?
Probably. Or burn marks or whatever.
Found the Norfolk Southern Family Assistance Center. Been here 6 times and never seen this before. Not certain how I missed it. At Rebecca Place. Okay, that's cool. Flowers are blooming. Hey, how about that? Some homeowners bought in-house water treatment systems for their well water. Concerns about well water safety remain. no wells have been found to have disaster-related contamination so far. Let me repeat that. According to Professor Andrew Welton, no wells have been found to have disaster-related contamination so far in East Palestine.
Seems off.
Wow.
Don't know how that's possible.
Yeah. Sulphur Run sometimes flows at 5 to 7 feet deep through town, not today. Chemicals and contaminated water flowed directly underneath multiple buildings. And here's another 27-second video of it flowing.
With the lack of rainwater, and maybe just the water tables kind of hold up for a bit. You know?
Yeah.
So all that chemical is just sitting somewhere.
There's no wildlife sitting in that thing. Sulphur Run also goes under several buildings upstream.
I see some.
Okay. Some parts of it are practically dry, even in parts of town. Right, but now the sound of rainfall in East Palestine.
Right, which that could cause some issues if it's, you know.
Yep. We saw 2 deer near the derailment site in the parking lot of ER Advanced Ceramics, Inc. And then we encountered a Norfolk Southern train. 132 cars going west to east through the center of East Palestine. 2 engines, second engine after 100 rail cars. It took 5 minutes and 30 seconds to pass. Only 38 seconds of the video shown here. That's a long time. I was just reading an article about how they just started slow-moving trains running through East Palestine again.
Yeah.
I mean, we can watch 38 seconds of a choo-choo. Happy Train Dance Day. That doesn't look like it's going all that slow, to be honest.
I mean,
we've seen how messed up some of that track is.
Yeah.
5.5 minutes for that train for only 132 cars. That's pretty slow.
Probably get noticed in town specifically, but
right. So here's day 3 out in the field. They cross paths again with their colleagues from friends in Tennessee and Puerto Rico, sampling wells. They made friend today near Leslie Run while measuring water depths. A happy leopard frog. I don't even see the thing there, but it's there somewhere.
They haven't asked if the frogs are gay yet. So obviously
they turned the frogs gay.
They're covering something up.
Alex Jones type of stuff right there. With the rain since yesterday and continuing rain, Sulphur Run is no longer dry.
No longer dry.
And Leslie Run is also flowing a lot. Yeah, that same boom, but now it's got water nearby. All right, and then you've got Leslie Run also flowing a lot more because of the rain. Right, we saw a variety of signs advertising for pressure washing since our February visit. We saw some building pressure washing taking place. We saw street pressure washing too. We do not endorse this company, just showing what we saw. And we're back at Purdue. Results, when available, of our scientific support efforts will be described here, as well as posted on our disaster response webpage. Gotta love this guy. After 4.5 months after the disaster, indoor air is still contaminated in some places. So exposures have continued for 4.5 months. 1.5 months ago, we visited and found this too. We asked US EPA to do something about it. They haven't yet. It's unclear why we have to be the ones advocating for protecting public safety, decon the buildings, conduct air testing, and then monitor. It's not hard. Why draw this out? Why allow exposures, which directly undercuts the message that recovery is happening? As we've found in other disasters, but more so here, disaster response decision-making when it comes to public safety and scientific support needs a complete overhaul. So today, if it can allow for harmful exposures and threaten public safety and business survival, that it can allow for that. So again, shout out to Andrew Welton, Professor Andrew Welton, doing God's work out there and really helping out the people of East Palestine. That's him. We got some other tweet threads from him in Threadreader. But I have a couple more East Palestine tweets. So one of the things that happened this week is that the residents of East Palestine went to the Statehouse in Cleveland, or in Columbus, I believe is the capital of Ohio. So they went to the Statehouse and they tried to lobby their lawmakers. And what ended up happening was they got escorted out.
Nobody's down our souls.
This impacts every person. Vinyl chloride is responsible for 99% of the plastics in this country. 5 to 6% of the plastics can be recycled. That means 95% of the plastics cannot be recycled. Nosebleeds, neurological symptoms. We're having seizures.
What about the 10%?
We're having them now. Please declare an emergency declaration. That's my sign. That's my property.
Don't put your hands on her. Don't put your hands on
my
her.
property.
Do not
I will
put your
leave
hands
if
on
you
her.
give me my sign.
That's
I
her
will leave.
property.
That's my property. May I please have my property?
Save our kids!
Disgraceful. Makes me so freaking upset. Really. So this is from the Rooster, Ohio, also an independent media organization. See that pillar in the middle? That's where Denzel Ward is sitting. The Brown Star is getting a front row seat at civic action today, baby. All right. More interruptions from the East Palestine residents here.
We're all gonna get cancer.
Here. Let me go back here and go back to slideshow off, full screen this.
Do the right thing. Declare an emergency. What if it were your families that were poisoned by Norfolk Southern?
We're all gonna get cancer.
Start working for your fellow Ohioans instead of the crooked-ass railroad.
Good for that guy. Great mustache, too.
They just sit there. Like...
Lemmings is the word you're looking for.
Slideshow on. There we go. Okay. So that's the Rooster. He also linked to a great article by Jake Zuckerman, and this is in cleveland.com. They're advanced media. They're kind of corporate media, but he's a local guy. I read that article. I'm not going to. What's up with Lurch? You know what? Oh, Sergeant at Arms. That's the guy who was there. You know, people tagging other journalists and other outlets. Don't know if this really got much play. So much solidarity in these people. All right. Then we also have Scott C. Smith, Water Warrior 1, additional soil and additional soil and furnace filter testing in East Palestine this week, and recent furnace filter testing results show a non-plume impacted area in Salem, Ohio, which is the control, versus plume-impacted residents that had health symptoms. Note that the affected East Palestine residents had in their furnace filters dioxin levels of over 2,200%, over 4,000%, and over 14,000% higher than the non-plume impacted control. That seems slightly high. We continue to make progress on getting the truth for the affected residents of East Palestine, Ohio, and surrounding communities from the Norfolk Southern train derailment. My offer remains open to the public information officers, PR people, and all government agencies to test side by side with me for the health and well-being of East Palestine, Ohio, and all the local residents nearby, and everybody else for that matter. The Norfolk Southern battalion of PR people and lobbyists will not be able to escape the truth and 4 Ds of PR: delay, deny, discredit, dismiss. And they are not going to work in East Palestine. Much gratitude to the few in U.S. media and international media that are covering this important story for the affected communities of East Palestine. You're very welcome, and I'm happy. It's my pleasure, and I hate to have to do it, but it's important and it needs to be covered, and the surrounding communities. Chris Cuomo, I'm not such a fan of, but okay. If he's covering this,
News
great.
Nation,
is right. So there is Scott C. Smith, and here is him conducting the testing. Here are the percentage increases over the control group in Salem. Jeez. Gross. Just gross. All of it. Gross. And finally, our friend Jenna Colby, friend of the show, friend of the network, she retweeted, this was a News Nation Now segment where East Palestine residents, about the protest at the Statehouse. Zeus Muse saying, why has my house in East Palestine smelled like a drain cleaner since February 3rd, Governor Mike DeWine?
Probably because it's used. There's chemicals everywhere.
And Jenna says, a Norfolk Southern train derailed, dumping a toxic mess which was lit up / exploded in order to clear the tracks to get the trains up and running in a small town on the Ohio-Pennsylvania border back in February this year. It's mid-June and still nothing's been resolved. And reminding us that aging in this country is horrifying. And I think that Jenna lives nearby. She's personally deeply affected by this, as are we all. And I don't live nearby, but I am personally deeply affected by this. My heart goes out to her. One of the ways that I found a lot of this stuff is that I literally just searched. I went to Twitter. I clicked on that little explore and I clicked hashtag East Palestine. And I just started looking. And it's amazing what you'll see. And it's amazing what you'll learn. And it's amazing what you'll find. These people need help. These people need visibility. Talk about this with the people who you know and love. Hey, do you know what's going on in East Palestine? A lot of people still don't. This was glazed over. That's still going on? Yeah, that's still going on. And it's
Same
bad.
thing with Flint. So much of this is still happening. There's still
look at
train
that.
derailments ever. Yes.
How about that? Give that a retweet while you're at it.
No, don't.
Hey, how about that?
Don't do it. Don't do it. It's bad.
Who did that one? I didn't. Did I do that? Oh boy. I didn't mean to do that.
It's bad.
Yeah, it's bad.
Anyway.
Okay. So I think that is 11:15. I did it right on time. So yeah. Nice. 35 people watching chat. Beautiful. Love you all, people. Happy Father's Day again to all. Global solidarity. Good to see you. Care Bear. Shout out to Care Bear, by the way. Colin Radix Carter, INN member. Colin sent literal Care Bears to my kids for Father's Day. It was adorbs. And they made a video. Thank you, Colin. It was really, really cute. So what else is happening? Yes, I'm burning through this show. I am happy to burn through the show, but yes, we're gonna get to boats in a couple of minutes here. I also did want to, hey, we've got a merch store, innmerch.com. You can get to my merch at Indie Left Media. You can get to INN Shop. You can get to Big Mad Crab Shop. You can get to a bunch of other links as well. innmerch.com. So, yeah, kids love the Care Bears. He got an orange one for my son, and for the girls, he got pink ones. That's the Cheer Bear with the rainbow on their bellies, and they're sleeping with them now, and they love them. So, thank you, and love you, brother. All right, so let's get some funny eye bleach and probably some funny dad stuff. So let's get to some boats.
And I watch mindless shit. Boats that smash into other boats.
I thought you still had a Substack to get to, but...
Oh, shit. No, we'll do that afterwards. I forgot about that.
All right. Well, I wasn't quite ready.
Oh, well, then we can go to the
No, you're good. You're good.
I know how much you love Substack.
I just have to find a soundboard thing it's at the bottom. I forget it's there. It's where
yeah.
is it? Jesus Christ.
No, he's not here.
It's time!
We got boats, everybody. All right, here you go. Watch this boat. It's a big boat. This is. I know it's slow moving, and you know,
big boat, big boat.
But this is a lot of mass.
Сейчас нас въебет. Наверное.
Watch how much it shakes the boat.
Jesus.
Вот я чего и боялся.
What the
and
actual
now
fuck?
250 gallons of gas are pouring out of that Russian tanker over there.
What the actual fuck?
How much they lose? 138 ton gasoline tank.
That's it?
Yep. Just that. Right into the water. Yay.
Substack is a blog, Desert Bantas. Well, it's a lot more than a blog. It's a whole website, but indienewsnetwork.substack.com. And I'll
Sorry, no ads are allowed during boats?
We'll go through that. I'm reading chat.
I know.
I don't think he had his bumpers out, actually, Mastermind.
No bumpers.
Where's Reef? Wait,
he was bumpers out? Yeah, bumpers weren't helping him.
You turned yourself off, dude. Where's Reef?
Did I?
Hey!
There you go.
Uh-oh.
All right. Watch boats hit back.
Oh. That's not Reef. That's chat. Hold on.
Did you see it?
He
Catch
fell.
it?
He fell. Fuck.
He did fall. And we just got to get off this precarious stool.
Ow.
Fuck. And the fucking bladder hits him.
You say my name 6 times, it doesn't fucking help the pain.
That's the best part to me.
That is pretty damn good.
You said my name 6 times, it doesn't help the pain.
Well.
Did you hit your head? Are you okay? Actually.
Through laughter.
Where are you hurt at, honey?
My leg.
This one?
Yeah, don't move it.
Okay, I'm not moving it. We need to take you to the ER.
Then you fuck off.
What time is it? It's 7:30.
I'm not going to the yard.
Just
I'm
put it-
going to
Mommy,
my
just
fucking
put it
chair
in
with an ice pack. You're going to lick these fucking nuts.
Wait,
what a fucking gracious man.
Wow.
Wow. Right. What do you do if this happens? And action.
The whole pea. Oh, fuck.
Ultimate party foul.
Dude.
Ultimate
like, you just drive back in silence
foul.
after that.
Ouch.
This is to commemorate the day. Happy Father's Day to Jesse Jett and all the other fathers out there.
To Andrew Zigmund Smith.
Andrew.
Happy Father's Day to Andrew.
Absolutely.
With the raccoon.
Very good Father's Day cake. With the raccoon is nice. I got you
goodness. Something. It's watermelon bread.
Watermelon bread. Bread with the watermelon. This is choco chip, bro. They got choco chips in there. You don't want no choco chip?
That's pretty cool, actually.
Choco chip bread?
That's a watermelon I can get down on.
All right, here. What about this?
Randy?
What about this cheeseburger? Here you go.
Okay, it's a rainbow bagel with 3 patties.
With the seasonings, the cheese.
Okay, it's a 4 patty. Steamed. That means it's too well done for me. It's a quad. It's a stacker. Yep, you got to have the stick in there, the Thousand Island or Russian dressing or whatever you want to call it.
Sprinkles, Lucky Charms.
Wait, what?
Rainbow Bagel.
Wait, what? Wait, no!
Yeah, see, there you go. Marshmallows.
It's lunch and dessert all together.
All right, what about, do you want that one or do you want this one? Is there such a thing as too much cheese and too much burger?
Oh, murdered. That is river of melted butter. Or actually, river of melted cheese.
Melted cheese.
Oh, my word. That's not cooked. That's not cooked through. Come on, man.
It's the last one you're talking about barely steamed was too well done. You get out of here.
Come on, man.
You know?
Gamer, ew, gross.
It's fine.
Right.
Ew, gross.
Pretty much. Ew, gross.
This is you in the morning. What?
I'm angrier than that.
You're angrier than that. What else we got?
Cat frozen.
We got some Dad Zone for Father's Day.
Hey, we love Dad Zone. We love Dad Zone. Dad Zone. It's our dick zone.
It's so cute. Hello?
Yeah.
You there?
Yeah. Again,
Margaret, it's me, God.
Adorability right now after being with my wonderful, adorable, angry, fighting children for days. Just, yeah.
Well, here, how about this one then?
My daddy has a gold tooth. Wow, gold tooth? My dad has a gold tooth. Look, my dad has diabetes.
Wait, what? Wait.
My dad has...
What?
What?
Look, my dad has diabetes.
My dad has diabetes.
Sure. Sorry to hear that.
Happy Father's Day.
Sorry to hear that.
It's like, my dad's got a gold tooth. What do you think the kids have been planning here? Like, why is there a secret bunker in the playpen?
It's an escape hatch.
Yeah, to where? Like, there's a whole story to this that I do not know.
That's a good question.
You know, he got the sugars. Yeah. Here you go. Have you had this happen yet?
What are you doing?
Thankfully, no, I missed that
Oh,
part.
you're painting with Nutella. Yeah. Is this what happens when I leave you for 1 minute? Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
You're painting with Nutella. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, try, Aubrey. No, I don't want Aubrey to try. Thank you, though. It's paint? No, it's not
Oh
paint.
my goodness.
You make a mess.
No, that's not poo. I'd say that's
Yes,
probably.
Sorry, mommy.
Oh my god, if it's poo, it's even worse. But no, I'm thinking that it's like
Nutella.
chocolate. Yeah, it's Nutella, but I'm thinking it's like chocolate something.
What are you doing?
Oh my.
Oh, you're painting with Nutella. Yeah. Is this what happens when I leave you for 1 minute? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. You're painting with Nutella. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, try, Aubrey. No, I don't want Aubrey to try. Thank you, though.
Okay, try, Aubrey.
Who's
No, I don't want
Aubrey
Aubrey
again?
to
Is
try.
Aubrey's her dolly?
The other kid.
Nice.
What else we got? Oh, this one's pretty good. You'll like this one.
What's your name?
Andrew.
Okay. Well,
What?
wash my hands.
What?
I think your mom's outside.
That's a violation, folks.
I think your mom's outside, bro. No. Can you just... Alright, yeah, that's fine. Can you shut the door behind you? Yeah, I'll lock it. Thanks, bro.
Thanks, bro.
It's the he literally just comes under the thing.
Andrew.
What's your name? My name is Get the Hell Out of Here. That's my name.
What's your name? I don't know. Very funny. This one's also funny. You ready? And action.
Wait, I missed that. That was too quick. Oh! I seen a lot of those. Kids go flying. That's always a good time. That's always good times.
Those are great.
For sure.
This one's good. I like this one.
Come on, Millie. Millie, come. Come on. Come on. Millie, come. Oh, you just stay there.
Oh. Oh, that doggy. Oh my God. Oh my God. I can't take it. Oh, doggy cuteness. Oh, that's too much. Come on. Come on.
You'll get this one though.
Oh no. Oh, I've seen this one.
You'll get this one.
Mom.
It's just, I know you understand that gorilla.
That was my son at the restaurant. I think that's a given, but that's my son at the restaurant. It might be orangutan, but that's my son at the restaurant today with me while the food is. I'm hungry. Where's the food? I'm hungry. Oh, it was just amazing.
Oh, Care Bear.
It was so much fun. Give me my Care Bear. Yeah, give me my Care Bear. That's right.
Right. Everyone's got to have their sound up for this one.
Oh.
And then you ready? Action. I just love that fucking noise, dude.
Give me your shit.
Like,
Twidget is twidging out.
Delighted to discover that nature has evolved a bat that looks exactly like a jam donut. So you have a jam donut and the bat. And the jam donut.
What?
And the bat. And the jam donut and the bat. And the bat and the jam donut and the jam donut and the bat.
What?
Donut Bat Tom brings us this.
That shit's crazy.
That shit crazy.
Putin's a madman.
Putin's a madman. He did it.
I just love that graphic is so damn fun. You know, that sound bit is just Putin's a madman.
This cat has a meow button. You ready to hit the meow button?
Right, meow.
Just that. Just that little meow button. Meow. Meow. Meow.
Nothing's shouting. Okay. Meow.
Are you okay?
No. I had a stroke. Did I have a stroke? I don't know.
Maybe.
Jesse,
the 95, the predicament.
That's Jesse's new thing. Did you have a stroke?
Whee! Whee!
Oh, that's fun. Okay. Uh-oh. Lands on his feet.
It's just the fact that he goes all the way down. Like, he could have jumped off at any point. He's just like, nah, this is my life now. You know?
Cookies, it's been a long weekend. Yes, it has. It's been a hell of a couple months, but yes, it's I hate it here. I hate it here in general. You know, we got people are talking about 2024 like I don't know. That's yeah. Go back and watch bitch. You'll hear a lot of what I'm complaining about. But anyway, what do we got? Let's see some nightmare fuel.
So they're like,
What?
not really like a whole lot to do at Grandma's house because she doesn't really have like TV or anything like that, and she's like really into the Omnicord. So I invented this game. It's kind of like cup and ball, you know. You just gotta fling it around till you get this little mouse to land on top of your head. See? Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at that. I did it.
You got it.
He did it. He's a good boy. Hello?
Yeah, he's a very good boy.
Hello?
He got it on his head.
There you go.
Monarch, yeah, we did the news earlier. If you want to if you want to check out some news, you can always go back. We did a couple stories earlier tonight.
Went on vacation, and this is what happened when they came back.
Hello? What?
No, I'm a cat again.
Oh, hello. Was he literally like greeting them? That was crazy.
Air? Oh, air. So cute. It's me, not meat. See the individual. Go vegan. But then, okay, now I'm meat. See the individual. Put Old Bay on it. That's hilarious. That's a great advertisement. Good for you.
Shout out to the Big Mad Crab.
Yeah, shout out. Dream job. Pupper bus.
Thank you for riding with Mo Mountain Mutts. Would you guys like a complimentary
Did that say Mo Mountain Mutts?
with your bus ride? Ramona. Echo.
Old Bay for the win. That's right. Yeah.
Nina. Wilson. Lola. Daishu.
Oh, I take treat. Thank you.
Lincoln.
Oh, treat.
Oh, nummy nummy.
Amaru. Jake. Loch Ness.
Stop scrolling.
No.
No thanks. Trooper. Mika.
Need to get this again because Twitch it keeps bombing out.
Bert. And whiskey.
Bert.
Please stay in your seats till we get to your house.
Oh, the drooly
Pause
boy.
to yourself. Tails out of the aisles. Mina, you are sitting in the emergency exit. Are you willing and capable of offloading the pups in a remote chance of an emergency? Thank you for your service.
I love he gets the head nod
No
too.
Mountain Mutts. That's great.
Like
And
this little
capable
head
of offloading
nod.
the pups in a remote chance of an emergency? Thank
Yeah.
you for your service.
Just good.
Dude, that
Low
is
Mountain Mutts.
those are trained animals. Very impressive.
Yeah, those are great. There was an attempt. There was an attempt.
Bath. Come on. Dookie, get in the bath.
Yeah, Dookie.
Get in the bath. Go. Get up there.
Is she getting in there with him?
Get in there.
Oh,
shit.
Oh, Dookie.
Dookie, get in the bath.
Dookie.
Get in the bath.
Oh,
Go.
I think his name is probably
Why do you
Duke.
like that, Dookie?
Get up there. Go. Get in there.
Nice.
Terrible. What else we
Good
got?
night, Anna Ringwald. Thank you for coming. As always. Good to see
Good night,
you.
Anna. Look at the half scrunch. Why he like that?
I'm gonna show you one tooth. I'm gonna show you one side.
Are you having a stroke, Cat? What's going on? Like, what's happening?
Are you having a stroke?
I know, right? Are you having a stromp? So speaking of Jesse, maybe he should try this. Okay, yeah, we washies.
Mason or Mosey?
Oh, got you.
До свидания.
До свидания. Bye-bye. Is that Mason or Mosey?
One of them. We were talking about aliens, right? So this is the alien.
Aliens and aliens.
He's small. Give me that.
What is? How did? Who got him dressed?
He got himself dressed. Yeah. Dude. I just love the whole little goggles and everything is just great.
Wow.
Okay.
Impressive.
So here you go. This is the future that we all have hoped for.
Oh. Oh, that is so freaking creepy. No, Lydia. I don't like this. It stinks and I don't like it. Because you know that that's not what this is going to eventually end up being used for, right? Gross.
You were like, what is that noise? I was like, you'll find out. This is even like it's AI.
Well, no, it's designed
on top of that.
It's designed to make a robot priest at some point with this dude's voice and mouth movements. But that's so freaking creepy. Oh my
man.
God. Jesus.
Of course, it's a choir boy, says Mastermind.
Yes.
Okay, so what about this nightmare fuel?
Yeah. Bad Cookie's got it. Someone's gonna fuck it. That's right. Somebody said it. I'm glad that was not me. But yes.
Look at this fucking terrifying robot. It could go on land.
Of course,
right?
It's a choir boy.
It can go on water.
Oh.
Wee.
Amphibious.
And I'm betting if you got it going fast enough, it probably could do air. But no, look at it zooming.
And it can be equipped with missiles very easily.
Probably, yeah. Little torpedoes.
Yep.
Pew pew.
Pew pew.
It's just the fact that this thing can go on land too. Like, I mean, maybe not very well, but it could do it. See, oh, there it goes. You know,
that is creeper.
Right. If that wasn't terrifying enough, how about this one?
Creeper.
They added wheels to the Robo Dog.
Oh my.
This is the Swiss Mall robot.
Quiet too.
Look, stairs are right. Quiet too. Like, in the fucking monastery where look how fast it goes.
Oh, it's shucking and
Dude.
jiving.
That's
We're fucked.
we're fucked. Yeah.
We're fucked.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good call.
So
Mastermind.
this is for Dad's Day. Everyone has to make their home improvement noises. It's a fucking V8 drill, dude. How dope is that?
That's pretty cool.
I've got some Toolman Taylor vibes. Yep.
More power. That's Charlie Mack says, yes.
Here's some more Toolman Taylor vibes, but I do like the sound that this thing makes. Like that noise. Like what?
That's a radio wave.
That's like a turbine engine. I gotta get the leaves out of my yard. Oh my god, dude. I really hope he just takes off, you know?
Oh, he's gonna go flying at some point. He pointed down far enough, he'll go right up in the air. Shut her down.
Man-made horrors. Yeah, bring it down. That's gonna be a no from me.
Nice.
So this is the
Perfect.
approved plan for I-95.
Yep. That works.
This should fix it. Should do perfect. Better than ever before. Dude, did you watch the John Fetterman stuff on this yet? This is the most hilarious
The
nonsense.
95.
No, the one where he was with Biden.
He broke.
Where he was like, I'm next to a collapsed bridge. Oh yeah, he's broken.
He broke the Fetterman. Yes.
Can you tell me what pride flag this is? Do you go back that far?
Proud of Van Halen.
Van Halen, yeah. This is like Garth's house. But anyway, can you explain?
AI?
Can you explain the macaroni paradox?
No.
Woo, woo, woo. So you're gonna fucking flip at this one. Oh my god, this one's really good. All right, action.
Z doesn't know how to write a check. They don't know how to address an envelope.
We've all seen this woman floating around by now, but in case you haven't, she's cracking a joke that says that if Gen Z were to take over the world, it'd be really easy to get it back because they can't address an envelope or write in cursive. I used to work customer support for a cloud-based tax preparation software for tax preparers. One day, a boomer tax preparer calls in aggravated because he can't access the software. I asked if he was able to log into the website. He says no. I asked why. He says, I don't remember my username or password. I said, there's a button in the top right-hand corner to request a username and password recovery. He says, I don't see that. He says, it's right next to where you would put in your username and password. He says, I don't see that. I asked, do you see our website? He says, no. I asked, what do you see? He says, a picture of my 2 grandchildren. I asked, are you looking at your desktop, sir? He says, what's a desktop? I said, okay, I'm going to need you to access a web browser so we can get you to the website. He says,
What's a web browser?
What's a browser? I said, it's the internet, sir. Do you click on a blue E or a blue compass to get to the internet? He says, I see a blue E. We're getting somewhere. 10 minutes later, I am able to help him get to our website and help him click on the forgot username and password buttons. There's a notification that says a recovery email has been sent to your email.
Oh, no.
He says, now what do I do?
Oh, no.
I said, you have to open up the email. He says, I can't open up my email. I asked why. He says, because my email is on my phone and I am talking to you on my phone, you fucking moron. let's just ignore the fact that this man had the unmitigated gall to call me a fucking moron and he didn't know what a web browser was and what it was used for. But this man is entrusted to do people's taxes. I asked if he could put me on speaker so then we could open up his email from his phone.
He doesn't know how to do that.
I asked him to access his email from the browser that he is currently staring at. He says, how do I do that? I asked, what's your email, sir? He said, at gmail.com. I said, you need to go to gmail.com. He goes to gmail.com. He asked, what does he do now? I said, put in your username and password, sir.
What's that?
He says, I don't know that. I spent an hour of my time helping this man recover his Gmail account so then he can go into his Gmail and recover his tax preparation software account. And in the end, he said, your tax software is not very user-friendly.
Oh, God bless
I love
customer
that so
support.
much, dude.
God
Oh
bless
my
customer
god.
support. Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Oh,
I fucking love that video so much.
and bless the arrogant boomer generation. I love you to death.
Did you see this? Our pals over at RT got this for us. Here you go. You ready? Whee! Fuck!
Roof flies off.
Like, dude.
Oh my word.
Like they're like, oh yeah, no, we're gonna keep it here.
No, we'll hold it
It's
down.
gonna be fine.
We'll hold it
Dude, the dude who fell is fucking the best part. What else do I have? Oh, this is gonna suck for some people. 60,000 bottles of wine burst from this tank in Spain. Look at all that.
Oh, that's a lot of
That's
grapes.
wine you can't drink anymore.
That's a lot of grapes.
The bees tomorrow are gonna be like, I don't know what to do. Fucking, you know. Holy shit. Well, someone asked for the red. Oh, unfortunate.
Anna
The wine
Kasparian
is
is
gone.
crying right now and doesn't know why. Yeah, cookies.
Yep.
Ask them. Ask them. Ask them the question.
Yeah, she's fucking crazy.
Crazy? I was crazy once. They locked me in a room. A rubber room. A rubber room with rats. And rats made me crazy. Crazy? I was crazy once. They locked me in a room. A rubber room. A rubber room with rats. And rats make me crazy. Crazy? I was crazy once. They locked me in a room. A rubber room. A rubber room with rats. And rats make me crazy.
That would
What?
make me crazy.
Crazy. I was crazy once. They locked me in a room. A rubber room. A rubber room with rats.
And rats made me
Speaking of
crazy.
Rats.
And your family do to cut back on plastics?
We have recently switched to drinking water bottles out of water out of when we have water bottles out of a plastic. Away from plastic towards paper.
Oops.
Like drink box water bottles, sort of things.
God, all of our leaders are terrible. Like they just
Robots.
literally cannot speak. Someone needs to reprogram them. This one's just called Bruh. You ready?
Uh-huh. Oh, don't Oh, I heard that.
In nomine Patri et Filii Espiritu Sancti.
Oh.
Can I refresh it and actually get the full video?
She's doing well. She's doing well. She's good. Oh. Oh.
What did you think was going to happen? You ran straight at it.
Oh. And somebody had the nerve to put it up online, no less.
Yeah, probably her friend. Like, oh yeah, this is
给
definitely
你们
going
展
up.
示一下我最近发明的铁篮球。每次使用这种普通篮球在传球的时候，
Oh,
一
you
不
showed
小
me
心就会
this.
被对手给抢走，很容易导致我们输给对方。于是我就发明了这款铁篮球，它能解决我们因为技术不好经常输给对手的这个问题。使用这款篮球，我们只需要轻轻的把它传给对手，这样我们就可以轻松的赢得对方，非常的完美。
Very perfect.
Hey, under one May. Really perfect. You saw badminton last time. That was the last time you saw badminton.
Yes.
Hold my beer while I play guitar.
Yeah, it is. God, look how smart I am.
That made music.
God, look how smart I am.
Oh. Call the dentist.
Call the dentist. Who do you call when this happens? This is fucking at court.
2 males. One of them is
Your Honor, I don't know what's going on in the jail right now. It looks like somebody just went and started beating up the defendant.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes, where are the officers?
yeah, they're like, yeah,
Yes,
where's the
yes.
officers?
2 males.
Like,
Those are the ones
Your Honor, I
fucking
don't know
comes
what's
in and
going on in
starts
jail right
beating
now.
the shit out of this dude.
They're the ones during his trial.
Oh, yes.
Oh my
Yes,
god.
where are the officers?
Where are they, bro?
Heavens to Betsy, that's
God.
illegal. Yes.com. That is illegal. Uh-huh.
That's yep. Here we go. Let's see if you can follow this one.
Hey, this is Livy, Kyle's girlfriend.
What's up?
Kyle said he was with you, and I was just wondering if that was true.
Yeah, Kyle's always with me.
Oh, okay. Can I talk to him?
Yeah, here you go. What's up? My pussy. Hold on,
I'll call you later. My truck's broke.
Something tells me they didn't believe that.
No. I mean, because Kyle's in the fucking room. But his boy got him, dude. His boy fucking got him. He's like, nah, dude, I got you, fam.
He's always here. He's
always with me.
Hey, this is Livy, Kyle's girlfriend.
That response is great.
Bro code.
Kyle said he was with you, and I was just wondering if that was true.
Yeah, Kyle's always with me.
Oh, okay. Can I talk to him?
Yeah, here you go. What's up?
What's up?
Hold on,
That's fucking.
Was
the
that
best.
Kyle on the floor? I don't know. Maybe.
yeah, it definitely was Kyle on the floor. You ready for some baseball? You like baseball?
I like the John boy.
Now the 3-2 swung on a pop
it's John
foul
Sterling.
back here.
Ow! Oh, thank you. Thank you. He's retired now, but
is he? Why can I?
Legendary New York Yankees announcer. He did Talk Radio 77. Then he did the Yes Network until he retired.
Now the 3-2 swung on a pop foul back here.
Oh! Ow! Oh, that
It really hit me. I didn't know it was coming back that.
It really hit me. Yeah,
John
dude.
Sterling.
On the ball, bro.
I got to sit and listen to him and Michael Kay call a game literally like right in front of me once on my birthday. It was one of the coolest experiences at Yankee Stadium at the press box.
Oh, that's hella zoomed in. Hold on.
Wait, what?
Here you go. Hydraulic press channel, bro.
Spin. Ew. Yeah, that's not going through watermelon. No! Hydraulic. Dude, does he have a hydraulic press on his head? What the?
Watermelon.
Nasty.
Watermelon.
My wife put up a picture of the square watermelons, like the Japanese square watermelon.
Yeah.
Those are pretty cool looking, I have to say. I wouldn't eat one, but
Parents
they're
tried
cool looking.
scolding me. I guess they forgot my brother is studying law.
Don't say another word to them. What are you doing talking to my client without me here? We're done here. Get up. Let's go.
Nice.
What are you doing talking to my client with me not here? Nice. We're done here.
Oh, I gotta fix Nightbot. Those are old. Oh, we know how we finish things here.
Yeah. Not quite yet.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Whoa.
Talking about keeping him off the pole.
Dude, I want to pause it. Like right there.
Yeah, that could have been real
like
bad.
Yeah.
Cynic. Ooh, that's right. I have watermelon. Egregores. I am so stoned. Yep. Nice. Oh my god. Monarch. Jordan destroyed Flint with that kick. Oh shit. That's cold. That's cold.
Can you explain what happens?
Status
what
kick.
happened in Sears?
What?
Status kick.
Whoa. No brakes and no control. Oh shit. How long is it gonna go? Dude, take your foot off the gas.
Barely that long.
Right? Alexa, show me a video that summarizes Marriott's campaign. And I am now officially deceased. Oh,
this
my
one might
God.
be. This one might be that video. You ready for the ending of things? You know how we do this.
This is fine. Uh-oh. You better get further away than that. Oh! Did not see that coming.
No.
Neither did he. Does that matter?
No. I just thought that would get you. Whee!
I love that the horn, like,
No,
before, like, after he gets me.
Right? I know, right? Okay, what is this? Oh yeah, putting a firecracker in a manhole. What could go wrong?
Nothing. Oh my god! Dude! Oh my god!
Look at how fucked up the fucking street is, dude. Holy shit. Oh, there's another angle.
But why?
Yes, God bless other angles.
But oh my god! Wow, that's crazy.
This is why you don't play with fireworks, kids.
That shit is nuts.
Here you go. Look, jet ski. It's like a mini boat.
Is it gonna smash into another boat, or is it gonna explode? Uh-oh! Somebody's going flying. Oh! Ejector seat.
Why does it? Like, why? Oh, there it goes. right in there where people missed. Let's see if I can actually get it to fucking.
Nope.
There we go. Close enough.
Okay, they went flying. The orcas are coming. That's right. No Gladys. No Gladyses were harmed in the making of this.
You don't need Gladys on that one.
Hello. Boom. Oh. I hope that they were all okay. I hope they were all okay.
I think so.
No children were harmed in the making of this movie. And he's okay. Zoom out.
He's okay. Yep, about to.
Is this the Canadian wildfire?
These are from. No, these are from a couple of factories. But look at this one.
Boom! That's a big mushroom cloud.
Why are mushroom clouds so cool, but so fucked up? You know?
Yeah.
Like, Jesus.
Rub some water on it.
That's like textbook too. Big fiery mushroom cloud. All right, last one. This is nature's explosion, everyone.
Oh. This is for Ed Heller. Volcano party, everyone.
Woo!
Launch Congress into a volcano. Wow. That's getting close. It's coming right for us.
Yeah. I need to use that as a transition. That's a good wipe, you know?
Yeah, it kind of is. The floor is lava. Danger, danger. The floor is lava.
Oh my God. There goes your drone.
All right.
I'm glad you were fucking broadcasting.
All right, well, that was boats. Right? You got nothing else?
That's it.
That was boats. All right, so I'm going to go back here. I want to cover this. IndieNewsNetwork.substack.com. I have been working on this primarily, but there are other contributors to it. We have published a bunch of different articles here over the last year and a half. The Dissident has written quite a few articles, including one that was ripping on Hassan Piker. But recently, I've been publishing at the end of every week on Friday an INN This Week, so that everybody can kind of get a... Thank you. Everybody can kind of get a feel for all the different stuff that people at INN are doing in one place, almost like your own INN TV guide. So this summarizes all the different shows that there were each day. And if you want to watch each one or link to them, you can do so below. And this was last week, so you had INN News, and you had Joe. Oh my God. So for all those that don't know, Jordan Chariton went on Do Dissidents, and...
What? No, he didn't.
Hilarity ensued.
Why?
After he got Jimmy Dore derangement syndrome.
Welcome, one and all, to the Do Dissidents podcast. So I do want to start, of course, by introducing the founder and host of Status Coup, Jordan Chariton. Jordan, thank you for being here tonight. I really do appreciate it, my friend.
I am ready to keep fighting, hopefully together. That's a very nice sentiment. Do you feel that over the last several months, where you've been attacking channels that disagree with you politically as grifters, assuming ill will on their part for
Let's see how many times
in exactly the way that you accuse people of in the article, do you feel that's in keeping
with the
spirit of those sentences?
It's 3 minutes. Well,
you'd have to be a little more specific. Who are you talking about? Jimmy Dore, others?
Well, you mentioned Jimmy Dore, and you mentioned some mini-me channels, as you like to call them.
I think there are just specific people that play for clicks. I mean, I don't really want to talk about Jimmy for an hour, but I knowing Jimmy, because I used to work with him and I used to be friends with him, how Jimmy talks now is not the Jimmy I knew 3-4 years ago. And people who know Jimmy will tell you that. Yeah, I definitely occasionally will say something if I still feel strongly, but it's just not to the degree that a lot of these channels spend all their time. I mean, the amount of time spent on Ryan Grimm and David Sirota and Crystal Ball. I mean, if you're going to say that's not for clicks, we just disagree. Yeah, I definitely occasionally will say something if I still feel strongly. Like Jimmy Dore, including
7,
Jimmy, by the
8,
way.
9,
Every
10.
one of you were covering TYT versus Jimmy Dore for 4 fucking months. It was embarrassing.
11.
Embarrassing. I'll answer you. I just don't get like.
Are we going to do
why
this
do
for
you
the
wanna spend
whole
all
3
that time
minutes?
talking about Jimmy Dore?
Why not?
I don't
Skip
get
to
it.
the end.
Jimmy has Jimmy Dore.
So many
Dore's
reasons.
fault. Jimmy Dore's all Jimmy. I don't know why we're talking so much about Jimmy Dore, but the doorknob feathers and Jimmy did not. The Jimmy Dore. Jimmy is
52,
big enough.
53,
What?
55.
Effing F.
We got to 55, huh?
Are you kidding me? That is nuts. What the fuck? The hell's wrong with you? Get a hold of yourself.
Shout out to Joe.
Yeah, agreed.
Shout out to Joe on that one. I just wanted to have fun with that. What's that?
Scroll down.
Jimmy.
Keep going. Oh, why isn't it on TikTok? How did it get out of the... Okay.
I put it on
I
TikTok.
thought that was still the embed.
No.
Yeah, no, I thought that was still the embed.
No, I didn't play it off the embed. I actually opened it in TikTok. So, Alternative Angle, that is Crab and Chris. Politically Homeless is now the new name of the show. It is the same show, but same hosts, same concept and everything, just they gave themselves a new name that is more appropriate than Alternative Angle. And they are politically homeless.
She's homeless.
Misty was on with Kim Iverson talking about the Assange extradition appeal that was denied and what's next. Lucy is starting to do some streaming again, so go check out Blue Moon Red Wine. So go check out Lucy's channel, subscribe there. Hey, that was last week's episode. Of course, Bitch with Comrade Misty. This was last week's episode, I think. Yeah, this was last Saturday night.
From last night on the channel.
And
if
somehow
you're here, you can find the other one.
Yes. But somehow we also missed including Chris Legion's latest article, which was talking about how the Empire is coming for all of us, including the smear piece that goes after Tara Reid. Shout out to Tara. Solidarity with Tara.
Chris,
Tara.
how could you, Chris?
Give her shoot her a message. Tell you we're thinking about her, and she could use the support right now. Very few large content creators have been stepping up to help and say anything, and appreciate the ones who have. I wish more did. But so anything that anybody can do to help raise that awareness, I appreciate. Last thing is, again,
Man, that's a good bread.
Chris from Alternative, now Politically Homeless, also started a new show on Thursday nights, which we helped design some of the look and feel and creative for. Bread and Circuses is the name of the show. He'll be on 9 p.m. Eastern on Thursday nights. And to get to that schedule, on Monday nights, we got Politically Homeless with Crab and Chris. Tuesday nights, American Tradition. And this Tuesday, we will have...
great American tradition.
It is. Thank you, Tim Dillon. We will have an American Tradition on Tuesday night. We're going to be doing a Seuss night.
American tradition.
Yep. INN News Wednesday night with Colin and Reef. In news. Bread and Circus is Thursday. Friday afternoons, we've got Angel Rivera with The Handsome Cynic. Bitch with Comrade Misty Saturday nights. And then Sunday night, we will be right back here for How Do We Miss That? So we've got 7 days worth of programming. Plus, you'll have a bunch of other stuff. You'll have uploads like Joe. You'll have shorts. You'll have clips. You'll have all different things to check out during the week. One other thing I wanted to show was on stream, my daughter put up and made me a Father's Day card. And I don't know if this tells me that I'm doing too much with Indie News Network, that my kids are now calling me Indie and literally drawing me INN logos for Father's Day. But that just shows like how much I care about this network and how much I care about these people and who are these people and what do we do here and amplifying independent media and helping all these amazing smaller channels grow and get notoriety. And there's Charlie Mack saying this is adorable. Thank you. Appreciate you. But yeah, that was nice. And we did get to eat our yummy crawfish today. So yeah, that was adorbs.
Even if it was overpriced, still yummy.
It was totally overpriced, but that's okay. Crawfish in New Jersey is not easy to find. So
Jersey, I mean, you should just be in the water, but
well, they do have crawfish in New Jersey, but I would not eat any of those. I
probably can get lobster cheaper.
You can't actually, believe it or not. But, all right, so. Also, we have the Discord independent-left.gg, our Substack. So you have the INN Substack, that's indienewsnetwork.substack.com. I also have my Substack, indiemediatoday.substack.com. I put an alert when we go live. I put a notification when we do clips going up to YouTube for the show, as well as articles, sometimes what I'm sharing or I'm writing something original. Hook up with us on Substack. We have fun over there. Discord, INN Live every day, and TikTok.com/@indienews.network. That's where you found this. The TikTok that we watched tonight. So I'm good, man. I'm spent. You got anything else you wanted to cover?
Not really.
All right. Well, I appreciate everyone being here. Thank you. Love you all. I will see you next week. And so will Reef, of course. And so I will say and I hate it here, but keep questioning everyone's motivations.
Keep listening to what little birds have to tell you.
Bye. Have a great time.
Indie News Network, collaborative family of independent content creators. Co-hosted normally by me, Indie. I'm founder and editor of Indie Left News and Indie Media Today. I got Reef Breland sitting next to me.
At Indie News.
Is Andrew Rivera on The Handsome Cynic?
It's Politics and Survival.
My name is Jesse Jett.
It's American Tradition.
What's up, Space Monkeys? Welcome to Political Fight Club. I'm Robert Durden.
I mostly make art for INN.
Big Man Crab Joe. Keep up those great videos.
Hey guys, it's Yeti coming at you.
Hello, my name is Lucy from Blue Moon Red Wine.
This is Chris Legion.
Keep fighting that good fight out there, guys. I'll talk to you later.
Who are these people?
I think I liked it better being blind, when I couldn't read between the lines, and when I couldn't see the cracks in the structure that lay bare before me the whole time. I think I liked it better back when I suspended disbelief and swallowed pride. I thought I knew the difference in the red from the blue, but they both bleed us so dry. They both bleed us so dry. My favorite songs don't hit the same way. I get to the end of a 4-minute track and I'm only looking back thinking, what did they actually